Hi adventurous bakers, welcome to my channel. I am Susan and I am the host of Susie's Cakes Recipes. For all returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support, and for all new viewers, welcome to my channel where I share simple homemade no fail recipes once every week. On today's episode I'll be sharing my gluten-free oatmeal cookies, and this is very simple to make and the ingredients are also very simple. So let's get started. Our first major ingredient is oats. You can use the old-fashioned oats or you can use quick oats, but I prefer using the old-fashioned oats, and I'll leave the reason in the description box beneath this video. Next, bananas. Make sure you're using overripe bananas. The ripeness of your banana determines the sweetness of your cookies. Next, salt, and then cinnamon. This is the only spice we're going to be adding to these oatmeal cookies. And then finally, raisins. There are no sugar in this recipe, no egg, no butter. This is very healthy and very delicious. Now to my mixing bowl, I'm going to be peeling off my bananas. Remember I said use overripe bananas. Please remember to check the link beneath this video for a detailed step-by-step tutorials and for loads of tips. Now I also wanted to stay to the end of this video because I have a very important announcement to make, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. I'm going to be using a hand wicks to match these bananas. You can use a fork to do this, but I'm using hand wicks here. Next, now this is ready. I'll be adding my salt, and I'm using fine sea salt, and then next I'll be adding cinnamon powder. If you're allergic to cinnamon, feel free to omit it. You can use all mixed spices. You can use ginger powder, you can use garlic powder. Then my oats. This recipe doesn't require any water or any milk. I'm just going to mix this up together. You don't need to use a mixer for this, and it doesn't spread because there are no fattening agents in it, and there are no baking powder or baking soda in it. Next, I added my raisins, and I'm going to stir this up well together. I'm going to switch over from this hand wicks to using a spatula. The reason I'm doing this is to mix it up very well, and you just want all the items to be well combined to be able to form a dough. Now, if after adding all your items and you mix it up well and it's not forming a dough, then that means your banana wasn't enough. So you add an extra finger of banana into it. So at the end of the day, you should be having something like this. Now look at how my cookie dough is coming together. This is just how you want it to be. Now at this stage, you want to preheat your oven. Like I said, this recipe doesn't require you proving it. It doesn't spread. You're not proving anything. It doesn't spread. It's just come out the way you want. So the first thing I did was to place a brown paper, or you can use a parchment paper, on my baking tray. My oven is already preheated, and I'm going to roll it into my the palm of my hands. I'm using a spoon to do this. You can use an ice cream scoop spoon for this, but I'm using a spoon. The reason I'm using a spoon is to have equal measurement. You don't want a particular oatmeal cookies getting baked and the other one isn't baked. You want all of them to bake evenly. Now you want to stick to the end of this video to get an important announcement. So just keep watching. For all new viewers, I think it's the right thing for you to hit that subscription button to subscribe to my channel, and also turn on your notification bell to be notified of all my simple recipes I share once every week. Also remember to leave spaces in between each of your cookies so that it gives them room to bake well. Like I said, you can also use a scoop spoon like this, like an ice cream scoop spoon, to scoop out your cookie dough and mold it into the shape you want. Now what I'm going to do is to slightly press each of these dough down to be flat. I want it to be flat, and I'm going to kind of shape it with my fingers so that it gives me this round shape. There are no rules to this. There are no rules to this. The reason why I'm doing this is so that it bakes evenly and it bakes on time. If I leave it as round as that, it's going to take a lot of time to bake. Now this is supposed to bake for just 12 to 15 minutes in a preheated oven. But if I leave it as round as it is like this, it'll take longer time to bake. So that's the reason why I have to flatten it like this with the palm of my hand. And you can roll it out in between parchment paper. If you watch my other cookie dough recipes, which I will leave the link beneath this video, you just roll it out in between parchment paper or brand paper and use your favorite cookie cutter to cut out. Now, like I said, this particular cookies is not going to spread, it's not going to puff, it's not going to rise. There are no eggs in it, no baking soda, no baking powder. It's all healthy. It's so perfect for people that want to go into weight loss journey, or if you have elderly people, you can, or you just want to eat healthy cookies, or you just want to be on the healthy side. This is perfect. And these are ready for baking. I'm transferring them to my preheated oven. I'm going to bake for 12 to 15 minutes, and these are ready. After baking, you need to allow it cool slightly. You notice that it's slightly brown and it's not breaking. The end product should be a little bit crispy and chewy. Now this is not bitter, it's not having any funny taste, it's delicious. No sugar in it, but it's delicious because of the bananas. That's why I said use overripe bananas. Now remember to check the link in this video for a step-by-step detailed recipe. Also, for all new viewers, please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell to be notified of all my simple, no-fail homemade recipes I share once every week. And this is ready, this is perfect, this is very, very healthy. Remember to tag me with the hashtag Susie's Cakes Recipes on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok. I want to see what you're able to create with the recipe. Now, on to the announcement. And this is one class a lot of people have been asking me to create online. I have an on-site version, but this is the online version of it, and this is my online bread class. It's covering 6 types of bread, from your regular commercial bread to your dinner rolls to chocolate bread to sardine bread to my beautiful wheat bread, and finally my chocolate chips banana bread. And the class is very, very affordable and is on Telegram. It runs 24/7. That is, when you pay, you're automatically added to the class. Irrespective of where you are in the world, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, the US, you have access to the class once you make your
thank you
payment.
for watching.
See you click on the link
week.
in the description box beneath this video. Leave me a message and I'll get back to you about the class details and how to pay and how to access lecture materials. Now please remember, I said the class is only on Telegram.